In this penultimate episode, we're going to be doing a full manipulation of the lock. Following the process I already described, we'll be doing 3 steps. Scan to find the first number, scan to find the second number, then brute force to find the final number and open the safe. To find the first number, we're going to do an all wheels left scan. We're going to amplify around any gate signatures we see, and then we're going to do a high-low test to determine which wheel that gate is a part of. Let's get started. Okay, we're going through a full manipulation now. So we're going to start with the first step, which is all wheels left. We're going to start at 0, and we're going to be careful around the contact points here, but we're going to be writing down just our right contact point, which is the slope side. So let's start here at 0. We're all wheels left. So there we are at 0. We're starting. Here we go. It's 38.5. So I'm writing that down. And we're doing 2 now. And we're going to go the whole way around. So 38.5. We're up at 4 now. $38. And we'll be going to 6. This is one where it's just kind of moving a little bit. That's probably just a little bit of weight somewhere. That's not me pushing up against the... I'm going to call that 38. And we are going to 8. And we're just going to spin around the whole dial like this. Again, remember, it's just about being really consistent. That's 38 again. And we're doing 10 now. So I'm just kind of stroking it. I wish it would stay. This is probably just a weird weighting issue. I'm going to say that's 38 as well. And we're up to 12 now. Actually, we're right at a contact point, so I'm just going to verify that I didn't mess anything up there. So we are at 12. And our contact point here is not touching there, so we got to go around the other direction. It is really weird when you're right at the contact point. As you saw, I'll show you here again. This is 38. And it's unlikely that we'll get I'll show you again. We'll do this at 12. It's unlikely we'll get one here just because it's most likely to be wheel 3 that indicates, and you can't have wheel 3 in the contact zone. So we're at 12 here, which is right where it is. Now, you'll see that I'm getting a really weird reading. Suddenly it's down at, what, 45, 46, 47? And that's because I'm not actually hitting that. That is me hitting the wheel pack. It's trying to turn the wheel pack at that point. So I need to go the opposite way around. Oops. And let me do that again. Just because I want to make sure you guys don't do this. So there we are at 12. And I'm going to go all the way around. And I can only let it drop in. So if I let it drop in too far, if I go any further, into the drop-in area, I'm going to move the wheels. This is why it's a little bit of a pain here, but you can see that is 39. Let's call that 39. Change that. But you have to be really careful around it. Now we're going to be okay. So if I go around here, we're going to be at 14 and we are out of the zone now. We're pretty much out of the zone. Maybe we might have a little bit here, but see it's very little to move it as well. That's 38.5. And now we are at 16. And that is at, I'm going to call that 37.5. That's a little bit of a difference there, but I don't think that's anything. It's just such a small difference. Yeah, we're down at 38 again. And we're going to do 20. And call it 37.5 again. We're going to go 22. Now we do have a gate that's from wheel 2 that's almost under the fence. I don't expect we're really going to see this, but we could. Let's just see what we got here. Oh, we do have a little bit of a difference here. Oh no, we don't. 37. I would say that's 37.5. And we're going to go to 24, which should be right over top of that. It might be a little bit off just because we're doing a left rotation instead of a right rotation. We call that 37.25. And then we'll go to 26. Call it 37. And now we're going to go to 28. It's 37. So we haven't seen any spikes that come up, a big difference, and that a big difference in one direction, and then it reverses itself. That's a gate signature. So even though we're seeing some little variations here, we're not seeing any gate signatures. And it's just normal to see some variations. Call that 37 and 32. $37.5 and 34. Call it 36. And now we're going to 36 as well. Call it 37. And we're going to 38. $37.5. Remember, these numbers that we're seeing here are actually very small variations in the dial. A millimeter on here is only a tenth of a number, so these are very small changes. 37.5. Go to 42 here. Call it 37. 44. Call it 37.5. 46. Call that 39. So that is actually a change. Let's do that one again. Oh, wait, nope. I think I did that one wrong. Nope, that's 38. That's not 39, 38. So that's not a change. Okay, we'll go to 48. And again, we've got another gate just entering. I think that one's going to be masked. It was last time we did this, so I'm not going to really expect to see it. Could see something. Yeah, I'm seeing 37.5 again. And then 50. And we might see something here on 50 because 50 is our last one. That's our wheel 3, which indicates first. So let's see. Oh, yeah, that's 41.5. Let's do 52. Call that 42. And 54. I'm going to call that 38. So we got, you saw it go up there from 37.5, 41.5, 42, 38. So that indicates that there is a gate there. It suddenly jumped up by quite a bit and then stayed there for a short period of time, just 50 and 52, and then came back down. So that's a gate signature. Now, normally if I was doing this, I would probably do a high-low test right now, or amplify around 52 here, and then do a high-low test, but I am not. I'm just going to continue on and do the whole thing so we can see the graph of the whole wheel pack when we're finished. But I wouldn't normally do that. Let's go to 56. And we should see this pretty consistent up until maybe we might get something showing on the 78 wheel, the wheel 1. This is 37.5 and 58. Oh, sorry, that last one was 38.5. This one is 39. Sorry, I just wrote that down. 39, and this one, number 60 here is 39.5, 62, it's 39, and 64, .5, 66, 39, 68, 39, 70, 39.5, 72. You can see that gate coming into view on wheel 1. It's not under the fence now. 39 and 74. $38, $76. We might start seeing something here, but let's see. No, I don't think we do. We get 38.5, and then 80, 39.5, and 82. We're past the gate now, so we didn't see it. It was being shadowed by either wheel 2 or 3. That's 39 and 84. Let's call it 38 and 86. 38, 88, 38.5. Yep. And 90. Call it 38 and 92. 37.5, 94, 37, 96, 38, 98, 39. I'm actually going to do 100. We've already done it on the other scan at the beginning of the scan, but let's just see if we get the same number as we did when we started. So I'm getting 38, maybe a little bit less than 38. So 38. Oh, and I got 38.5, so that's fine. The half point, you can't really see that, and it doesn't really make a difference. It's just, if I see it, I write it down. So the only thing, I'm going to put up a picture of the graph, and we'll see at approximately 50, we got a big spike. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a amplification of that. Here is the graph, and you can see there is a big spike. That's actually a lower part of the wheel, a shorter wheel pack, at just at 50 or a little bit more than 50. So we're going to be amplifying around there, and then we'll relook at this graph. Okay, so we are amplifying. So I'm going to do 49 and 51 as well, just because we've already done 50 and 52, And that's where we are. Actually, in fact, let's do 53 as well. So do 49, 51, and 53 to sort of amplify around it. So let's do 49. And I see 39.5. Yeah, that's consistent. That's between 48 and 49. So let's do 51. I expect this one to be pretty high. I see a 41.5, which is right at what 50 was. And let's do 53. 53. Call it 41.5. And okay, let's get this data up on the screen. Based on this information here, we can see our amplified data, and it's a little bit different looking than when we did the wheel the last time. That's probably just inconsistencies in how I'm doing this, but I'm going to say it's 51. That's about the middle part. The next phase is to do a high-low test. We're going to do this in the fastest, simplest way. We're just going to be doing a high test, and we're just going to be checking the right contact, the slope contact like we have before. We get a great result, then we don't have to do the left contact or the low test. So if you remember from the video about the high-low test, we're going to be dialing 61, 51, 51, and that will knock the wheel 1 off. And then we'll be dialing 51, 61, 51, and that will be knocking wheel 2 off. And then we'll be dialing 51, 51, 61, and that will be dialing wheel 3 off. And wheel 3 is where the gate actually is. So what we'll see is on the first two, the wheel pack is going to be pretty low because that gate is under the fence. For the third one, suddenly the pack's going to get higher because that gate is no longer under the fence. And with that information, we'll know that the gate signature we found is for wheel 3. We're doing the high-low test, and we found the middle of the gate we think is at 51. So we are going to do a high-low test now. I'm not going to do any fancy dialing for this. It's fairly simple to do this, or I won't be doing very much fancy dialing. So we want to put wheel 1 on 61. So, and then we're going to pick up both wheels, put them on 51, and then do our test. That looks like 41. I'm just doing the right contact and see if I get a good gate signature. And if I don't get a good gate signature or a good high-low test, then I will do both the left and the right contacts. But there's no point in doing that if you don't need to. So let's do this again. I'm going to do 51, 60, and you saw that was a quick dial there because I just picked up both wheels and placed them on 51. So let's and we expected, since we know this is wheel 3, we expected that one to give you a low indication. So, and 41 isn't really low, but it's a reasonable one. So this one's going to be 51. We're going to pick up both wheels and place them at 61. And then pick up the top wheel and place it at 51. And again, you can see that the gate is there, so we should get a gate reading. Looks like 42, as we expected. Now we're going to do 51, 51, 61, and this is going to knock the third wheel off the gate. So we should expect that number the number on the ruler to move up. So let's do this. We're doing 51, pick up 2 wheels, and go to 51 again. Because we're doing a right rotation this time. And then put 60, the final wheel on 61. So now there's no gates underneath the fence. So we expect this to be a much higher wheel pack. Yeah, and it is. I'm seeing about 38.5. And that's a clear indication, very clear gate indication that wheel 3, when we knocked it off, that was the gate we were looking for. That was the wheel that caused that. So we know the gate is on wheel 3. And just a summary here, when we did 61, 51, 51, we still saw the gate. We did 51, 61, 51, we still saw the gate. When we did 51, 51, 61, we didn't see the gate. So that indicates that is the location, that's the wheel. The wheel 3 is the one that has the gate in it. Okay, excellent. We've got wheel 3 indicating at 51. So that's a big, we've got one of our numbers. We just got to go for the second number now. And this time we're going to keep wheel 3 in position 51 with a left rotation while we're scanning the wheel. So we're going to be scanning wheel 1 and 2, holding wheel 3 at 51 with a left rotation. Next step is to get the second number. It's most likely that we're going to get it on the second wheel just because of the way they're designed. The angle that the fence actually comes down on the wheel pack, especially with wheel 3 in a gate, will be most likely to be wheel 2, but we'll see if that's true or not. I'm not sure. That's just the most likely next wheel to be found. And so we know wheel 3 was at 51. So we're going to be keeping wheel 3 on 51 with a left rotation. And then we're going to be dialing wheel 1 and 2 together. We're going to be doing those with a right rotation. So let's start. I've already talked about how to do this in the efficient dialing section, but we're going to start with a right rotation here. And we're going to start at 50 and work our way backwards. So I'm going to start at 50. And then I'm going to pick up wheel 3 and just nudge it a tiny bit to 50. And then I'm going to do my then I'm going to do the contact point reading. So we're going to start here. This is 50. Call it 39. And then we're going to continue right, and we're going to move it down to 48. And then we're going to pick up wheel 1, wheel 3, move it back to 51. So it takes a little longer to dial, and you have to be a little more precise in knowing what you're doing so that you don't mess it up, but this is 39 as well. And that was for 48. So continue right. We're going to pick up all the wheels. First, we're going to pick up wheel 3, move it just a little bit, and then we're going to get all of them here. We're going to go to 46. And I'm going to rotate it around. We're doing a left rotation, and we're going to pick up wheel 3 at 46 and move it to 51. And then do our test. So that's how we're dialing today for this part. Also 39. Again, right rotation. Pick up both wheels and all the wheels and move them to 44. And we'll pick up wheel 3 and move it to 51. So we're always keeping that wheel 3, and we're just spinning 1 and 2 through. say that's 40. And we are going to go down to 42 now. $39, $40. You can see this is pretty meditative when you're just doing the same thing over and over again. See, that one's 40. Go to 38. Continue it around to move to 51. It's easy to forget one of your dialings. So that is 38.5. Now 36. Call that 39.5. 34. $39.5. 32. $40.5 and 30. $40.5. 28. And we can see that wheel 2's gate is coming close to the fence, so we may get a reading here in a little bit. The most likely place we're going to get a reading will be at 24. 39.5. So we're going to do 26. So we may get something here. Let's see. No, not yet. 39.5. Oh, yeah, big change here now. Huge jump. It's 41, 2, 3, 44. That's a big jump. And we will go to 22. It's 40.5. 25. So we got this massive jump at 24. That's super high spike. So that is definitely a gate signature. I would have expected it to be a little bit wider, but when we finish going through the dial, we'll do 23 and 25, and we should see a peak in that area as well. So we're just going to continue going. I would normally stop at this point, but we're doing a sample here, so I'm just going to go through the whole way. So let's go down to 20. And we might get something at the for wheel 1 at 78, but I'm going to probably assume we're not going to. I would say it's unlikely that we'll see something there, but you never know. You might see a little bit of a hump there. Oh, so this one is quite a bit. Oh, there we go. No, it's 38.5. And down to 18. You can really feel it when you pick up two wheels at once. You can still feel the wheel 3 being picked up, but it's not as obvious big weight like two wheels are. So I would say that is 38. You can see I can feel that being picked up, and then we're going to go down to 16 here. Oh, see, it's like I have to tighten my hand around it just to grip it, to move it for picking up two wheels. Put this at 51. Call that 38. And 14. Mill 3 to 51, and do our contact point here. 38.5. Down to 12. I'm going to call that 36, 37 and a half. And down to 10. Call that 37. So we see that the wheel pack is just slowly getting high at this point in time. Just that's how the wheels are working. It's all just in the manufacturing imperfections. Call it 37.5. We're dialing to 6. 38.5. Dialing 4. 37.5. And dialing 2. Call it 37. Dialing 0. Call it 36.5. And dialing 98 now. So we've gone around the dial once. Well, we've gone around and sort of reset ourselves up here at going past 0. So there's nothing special about 0 on here. So that's totally okay to do. Got 37.5. 96. 36.5. So it's definitely getting higher in this location again. And we're going to 94. Nice thing about this is it's really easy to remember where you are because it's such an obvious pickup for two wheels that it stops you and you can go, oh, I just have to subtract 2 from where it is. I'll show you what that looks like on the next dial here. Call that 36.5. So I can kind of feel wheel 3 being picked up. Like it stops, like I'm running my finger across and it's not moving. So I need to put a little bit more force on it. But as soon as I hit where wheel 2 and 1 are being picked up, which will be, let's see, the last one was 94. So right at 94, like there's a huge amount of resistance to movement. So I would go, oh, I'm at 94. I just need to move it to 92. So it's a nice way of, if you mess up, it'll kind of remind you where you need to go. Call it 36. You can see it stopped at 90, so I need to put quite a bit more grip on the dial to actually turn it to 90. Bring it around, pick it up and put it on 51. And really try and dial that 51 accurate because it will make a big difference in the numbers, just a little bit of a difference. So that's like 36.5. And 88. I'll call it 37. I'll do 86. 36.5. 84. 37. 82. 37.5. 80. We can see that wheel 1 is now, its gate is almost under the fence. We may see something here. I doubt it, but we may see something. I think it'll probably be shadowed. Oh, we do get a little bit of a difference here, but I don't think it's significant. No, it's not. 36, 37, 37.5. And 78. $37.5, so we didn't see. This is being, so this would mean that one of the other gates, so wheel 1 isn't, so wheel 2, because wheel 3 has a gate at it, it's not going to be shadowing. So wheel 2 is shadowing the gate at wheel 1 right now. And we are going to be doing 76. So that's 35, 36, 37, 74. Call it 38, 72. 37.5, 70, 36.5, 68, 37, 66. You can see how this would make a good ASMR video if I was not sort of commentating on what I was doing here, but just slowly reading numbers, and this could be quite calming and relaxing to someone. 37, 64, 36.5. We'll do 62, 38, and 60. 37.5, and 58, See, there's a lot more actual movement, even though it's just a tiny little movement here. To move that wheel 3, it's got to go almost all the way around. $37.5, 56. $37 and $54. And I can't emphasize enough that you really got to dial that 51 accurately. Try and be really super consistent. 37.5. Just that if you don't, then you will cause differences in the dial reading. And we're doing 52. Oops. I messed that one up. I could feel that moving. I was getting excited because this is the last number. 37. So the only place I see a gate, something that looks like a gate signature, was at 24. Maybe because 24 is 44, and there was another sort of high point at 22 at 40.5. We'll show the graph and I'll put the numbers up, but I'm going to, the next step will be to amplify. Here's the graph. You can see there's a peak at about 23, 24. We are amplifying now around 20, 25. So we're going to do all wheels right. I'm just going to reset here. We're going to do all wheels right to 25. Let's make that a little more accurate. 225. Just going to pick up wheel 3 and put it on 51. And then I'm going to do my test here. That looks like it's 40.5. And then I'm going to bring it down to, we've already done 24. So I'm going to do 23. 24, 23. And I'm going to bring this up to 51. That is 41, 42, 43. Okay, so if we look at these numbers, the only place we're really seeing them are at 22, 23, 24, 25. And it looks like it's sort of between 23 and 24. So I'm going to say this is going to be 23.5. That's where we found the gate. And now we have to do a high-low test to see which wheel it's on. We already know it's on wheel 2 because we can see it, but if we're doing this blind, we wouldn't know that. So we're going to do a high-low test for wheel 2. We were doing a high-low test. We found a gate at 23.5, and that we were spinning wheels 1 and 2. So it could be on either one of those wheels. We know where wheel 3 is. It should be at 50. So it's not wheel 3. It'll be either wheel 1 or 2. So what we're going to do is knock wheel 1 up to 33 from our 23. So we'll dial it up 10. See if we get a gate there. We'll still see the gate because we can know that it's on wheel 2. So we'll still see a gate signature or a low wheel pack when we do that. And for the second dialing, we're going to be knocking wheel 2 up to 33. And in that case, we're knocking wheel 2, which has the gate from underneath the fence. So we should see a high wheel pack. And based on that information, we'll be able to conclude that wheel 2 is where the gate is. So let's do a all wheels left here. We'll clear. We're going to be dialing 33. And we're going to be picking up 2 wheels, 1 wheel, 2 wheels, and we're just moving them down to 22, what did we say? 23.5. So just under 24. And then we are going to pick up wheel 3 and place it at 51. You can see we're going to get the wheel 2, the gate is still under the fence, so we're going to get a high reading here. And we get it at, what's that, 41, 42, 43, 43.5. Now, let's do all wheels left here and clear, and then we're going to be doing 23. So we'll put wheel 1 on 23. 1, 2, 3.5. And we'll pick up 2 wheels. And we'll put them on 33. And then we'll just knock wheel 3 down to its gate at 51. So you can see the wheel 2 doesn't have its gate. There's no gates under wheel 1 or 2. So we should get a sort of a somewhat high reading. So yeah, so we've got in here about 40, 39.5, 40. Let's call it 40. So the first one we did, we got 43.5, which indicates a low wheel pack. And the next one we got was at 40, which indicates a much higher wheel pack. So our conclusion from this is that 23.5 is on wheel 2. So we know wheel 2 at 23.5, we know wheel 3 at 51. So the next step is to brute force the final combination number. Okay, we're at the final stage. Just going to brute force the last number. So we're going to basically be just trying all the different possible numbers for wheel 1. So I want to start with all wheels left here and clear the lock. We're going to start at 0, and we're going to find it at 78 because we know the combination. So it's going to take us a little while to get there, but we're just basically going to start at 0. We're going to pick up 2 wheels, wheel 3 and wheel 2, and we're going to set them at 23.5. And then we're going to pick up 1 wheel and set it up, or the number 3 wheel. I say 1 wheel, I just mean the first wheel in the pack, which is wheel 3. We'll put that at 51. And this one, we don't actually take a reading. All we have to do is drop it in the slot in the cam gate and see if it drops in. And it's not. So I'm gonna cross off 0 here. We're gonna go to 2. So just do all wheels left. Pick up wheel 3 and 2, and then we're going to go to 2. Yeah, it takes a little while to dial all these things in, but this is the final stage. So we're setting these ones to 23.5. And then you can just move wheel 3 over to 51 and check a drop in. No drop in. Okay, so I'm going to pick up wheel 1 and 2, and then I'm going to go to, I'm crossing off 2. I'm going to go to 4. I'm picking up wheel 3 and wheel 2. And I'm moving them to 23.5. And then I'm picking up wheel 1 or wheel 3. I'm moving it to 51. And I'm checking for a drop in. Crossing off 4. Doing 6. You can really feel that torque when you got all the wheels you're picked up. So pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, and set them to 23.5. And then knock wheel 3 over 51 and check for a drop in. Cross off 6. And we're going for 8 now. And we'll pick up wheel 3 and wheel 2. And we're going to 23.5. And we're going to knock wheel 3 up to 51. And see if we could drop in. Nope. Cross off 8. Go to 10. Pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, and drop at 23.5. And then pick up wheel 3 and put it at 51. And then check for a drop in. Cross off 10. Going to 12. Pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, and drop off at 23.5. Oops, I overturned on that one. So I'm actually just going to go do a trick here. I'm going to go back and move wheel 3 and wheel 2 just a little bit higher, and then I'm going to re-pick up wheel 3 and wheel 2. So if you mess up, you could just reset the lock and dial again, but just a slightly faster way of fixing your mistakes. And put that down at 51 and check for a drop in. Nope, cross off 12. Go to 14. And pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, drop them at 23.5. And then just pick up wheel 3 and put it at 51 and check for a drop in. Nope, not 14. Try 16. Oops. I went again. If you lose your concentration, just start again. So we are at 16. So I'm going to put these at 16. Just did a little bit of extra dialing there. No big deal. Pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, drop them at 23.5. And then knock 51. Knock wheel 3 up to 51. Check for a drop in. No drop in. It's not 16. Go to 18. Pick up all the wheels and go to 18. And then pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, put them at 23.5. And then move top wheel off to 51 and check for a drop in. No drop in. Not 18. Trying 20 now. Wheel 3, wheel 2, and then all of them. And we're going to 20. And wheel 3, wheel 2, going to 23.5. And then to 51. And check for a drop in. No drop in. 22. Pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, pick up all the wheels to 22. You see this takes quite a bit of dialing, but we don't have to do any of the contact points, so it's kind of nice. And I just moved that too much. So let me reset. And it's just because we were right at 22. We're dialing on top of each other. So we dial them all to 22. And then we're just going to get wheel 2 to 23. So we're going to have to bring it all the way around. 53.5. Wheel 1 did not move there. And then we're going to bring this to 51 and check for a drop in. It's not 22. Let's try 24. Now we're going to have to do extra dialing here because we've got to bring wheel 2 all the way around now to 23.5. Wait a minute, I did that one backwards. That's okay. We just make some mistakes, and when when we were doing the previous one, it was all right turns, and this one's all left turns. So I'm going to put this at 24, and then do right rotation to move wheel 2 to 23.5, and then knock off wheel 1 and check for a drop in. No drop in. Go to 26. Oop, and we didn't pick it up there. We did a little bit extra dialing there we didn't have to do. Going to 23.5 here with wheel 2. And I did it again. I'm doing the wrong rotations. So we're going to go to 26 with all wheels left to 26. And then pick up the second wheel and move it to 23.5. And then we're back. It's a little awkward right when they're right around the same spot. And no drop in at 26. So we're going to go to 28. This is where I was going wrong. I was going left. I was going right instead of left. So we're going to pick up these wheels, and then we're going to go to 28. And then pick up the 2 wheels with the right rotation, and move these to 23.5, and then knock it off to 51. And check for a drop in. Nope. Now we're doing 30. And we got to go left. And then we pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, the right rotation. We're going to go to 23.5. And then we're going to pick up wheel 3 and put it at 51 and check for a drop in. No drop in. Going to 32. So we need to go with the left rotation. Don't mess up your rotations. I almost messed it up there again. So I'm going to pick up the 2 wheels, then pick up the third wheel almost instantly and go to 32. And often you could just tell you've messed up because you can feel the wheels picking up. But just get the dial gets a little harder to turn. So I'm going to pick this up and put this at 23.5. And then I'm just going to knock wheel 3 off to 51. Check for a drop in, no drop in. Do a 34 with a left rotation. So pick up everything here and go to 34. And then pick up the top 2 wheels, 3 and 2. And go to 23.5. And then wheel 3 to 51 and check for a drop in. No drop in. Do a left rotation to 36. So wheel 3, wheel 2, and then 36. And pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, and place at 23.5. And then wheel 1 to 51, and check for a drop in, no drop in. Okay, we're doing 38 with a left rotation. 38. And then we're picking up wheel 3, picking up wheel 2, and placing at 23.5. And then moving wheel 3 to 51 and checking for a drop in. Nope. 40 next with the left rotation. And then pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, and put it to 3.5. And you might hear some construction next door. I've been trying to only do these at night, but I wanted to get this video out today, so hopefully that's not too annoying. I'm hoping I can get the noise suppression to get rid of most of that sound. Okay, so left rotation to 42. two wheels and drop them at 23.5. And then move wheel 3 to 51. And check for a drop in, no drop in. Okay, 44, left rotation. And then pick up the two wheels and drop them at 23.5. Wheel 3 to 51 and check for a drop in. Nope. Now we're getting 46. Oh, almost did it. Wrong rotation there, 46. And then pick up the two wheels, put them at 23.5. And then do 51. And then check for a drop in, no drop in. Okay, doing 48. And picking up wheel 3, picking up wheel 2, dropping that 23. Oops, I went a little too far. So let's pick up those wheels and just set them a little higher. And then I'll just pick them up again. So that's a way of correcting. I noticed that I messed it up and I went too far, but I can just pick up those wheels and then move them back to the correct location and then move wheel 3 to the 51 and check for a drop in, no drop in. Okay, we're doing 50 now. Everything to 50. And we'll put them all at, or wheel 3 and 2 at 23.5. And then wheel 3 to 51 and check for a drop in. Oh. Now we're doing 52. Pick up the top two wheels and place them at 23.5. Almost missed out that. And then move them to 51 and check for a drop in. Nope. Doing 54. Picking up the top two wheels and going to 23.5. And then moving wheel 3 to 51. And no drop in. Now we're doing 56. And we're going to pick up the wheel 3, then wheel 2, and place them at 23.5. And then top wheel to 51. And no drop in. Now we're doing 58. And picking up the top two wheels and place them at 23.5. And then just the top one to 51. Nope. Now we're doing 60. .5, 51, and no dropping. 62. So it's sometimes hard to sort of keep yourself mind engaged enough to do this. Like I just was talking and I messed it up, so I'm just going to redial that one. Make sure you're moving the right wheels and to the correct positions. No drop in. Doing 64, and just keeping track of everything. With all the cameras I have here, it's actually I'm way off, and I have to look at the monitors to see what I'm doing. So it's a little bit awkward for me. So I'm making probably more mistakes than I would normally. 66. You can see that gate now, so we're getting close. We're doing 68. Now 70. Now 72. It's getting exciting now. Oh, I know I got excited and messed up my dialing. That's okay, just keep going. 72. We reset the lock at that point, so it's not a big deal. Remember, if you screw up, you can always just completely reset the lock and start your dialing again. No big deal. Just have to realize that you've done it. That's what the video is nice for showing that what's going on. Okay, we're really close now. We're going to do 74 now. And we should get it on the next couple. Because it's 78 and we are at 74 now. So dropping this at 23. Oh, 76. Getting really close now. So it probably won't open on this one, but it might be the next one. Drop these at 23. Yeah, and if you're on a practice lock, you can always just look behind and see where the wheels are. I mean, you're learning, so it's great to not be making mistakes and get a successful open. Okay, it should happen on this one. Going to 78. Oh, it looks right underneath it. I'm going to pick up wheel 3, pick up wheel 2, dial to 23.5, and then dial to 51. And then do a drop in. Oh, I felt that. Totally dropped in. It's open. We got it. 78. So the combination is 78, 23.5, and 51. Woohoo!